This is the call history from Amos Ponitu's phone showing the police officers' calls last night and this morning, following MTV's news last night regarding Amos Ponitu being the victim of a conflict between NHC and the Lay Urban LLG over a government property. The first call the police officer made was at 6:56 p.m. This morning, the Senior Constable called Amos again twice and ordered him to go see the Provincial Manager for NHC, Mathew Limu, at his home, or he would arrest Amos tomorrow at 9 a.m.
So me ask him can phone me to you arrest me long. Me making one can wrong. And then talking me you are unlawfully on premises. So with that me no feel him good pla. Me feel him some life to me stop under threat. So another blah hopes and most. The only thing to make him and me must go one tablo office long. Bossman, police, Mr. Kunyonban, so me make him I'd
like to make our stand clear in Lay. We do not exercise such orders. We only enforce the court orders, and when we are sure that 100% sure that the court orders is valid, it's not any way will compromise our work. We enforce it. So we do not go by the notices of such notices from the National Housing Commission. A letter like this we do not exercise, or we do not implement these letters, or we serve these letters to the tenants. So what my policeman has been done to the tenant will be dealt administratively.
Amos decided to report the matter to Lay's acting Metsup, Chief Inspector Kunyonban, because he thought he was being threatened. Last week, Friday, the Senior Constable served this NHC eviction notice to Amos Ponitu's wife. The notice was signed by the National Housing Corporation Manager Mathew Limu, requesting Amos to vacate this property within 24 hours, stating he isn't a legal tenant. Amos Ponitu works for City Council Policing Unit. He is now the victim of this government property at Salamander Street in Lay, which the National Housing Corporation and Lay Urban Local Level Government are currently in conflict over the title.
They have to show us their record, what they have in there, and we have to produce our record, because I've got a record in place to justify that those properties were legally transferred at the time, as I've mentioned. So at this point in time, I don't know where Housing Corporation coming from. They're supposed to refer to us. As a matter of courtesy, they should refer to us and then have our feedback, and then they have to carry out it. As far as I'm concerned, they still remain City Council property.
This has always been the case over the years for victims of NHC evictions who were forced to vacate their homes because of such notices issued to tenants by some police officers. The eviction notice is typed using the National Housing Corporation letterhead and is signed by the Provincial Manager Mathew Limu with the NHC stamp. MTV News in Lay has never been successful in getting a response from the NHC Provincial Manager and the Regional Manager following the evictions carried out by NHC.
Any eviction notice for that matter should come to my office so that we will make sure the orders are valid in any way, so we don't want to be implicated in any ways as well. So it's going to be a winning situation for my policeman and as well as the people that we're trying to help. So court orders we will serve, but as long as we verify the court orders before we serve. So that's why we sanction all the eviction, all the court orders to come to the office. So we double check with our police lawyers, state, and then we carry out those orders.
Julie Badui, Owa, National MTV News, Lay.